Hi guys, this is Absal, um, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Today I'm going to share some strategies for newbies as well as for the experienced traders on how to basically save a trade, how to fence a trade, and um, basically how to get out of a signal that's not going well for you, right? um, so I have this USD JPY chart in front of me. It's a 5-minute chart, and I've drawn some lines over here. These are my support and resistance points, and I'd like to show you certain strategies in terms of saving a trade and fencing a trade. Now I have a lot of questions, in my inbox, and people ask me continuously all the time that how do I know that when is the best time to catch an SR at the mentioned SR, or can we enter above or below your SR? How do we know? Do we always have to stick with the SR, or can we sometimes make an exception and enter above or below? And we're gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that question for you. I will go over um, certain things. So always remember that when you're trading with me or any of the admins, when you're following their signals, make sure that you have your charts open, right? Keep your charts ready and keep your broker account also ready. I suggest if you have two devices, for example, if you have a laptop and a phone, and your broker allows you to you know trade from your phone. If you have a mobile app for your broker, I suggest you look at the chart and also you trade at the same time. That means that you don't lose the sight of the chart. That's what I do when I post signals. My focus is on the charts because I like to see the price action. I like to see where the candles are closing and opening, and I like to see the shapes of the candles. So always have your charts open. When you see a signal, also verify that signal with the chart. Um, be quick. As soon as the signal comes, open it, open the chart, get your broker platform ready, and do a little bit of analysis. You don't have to think too much over it because you won't have the time sometimes to catch the prices, but do your own personal kind of little analysis before you take a trade. Now I'm going to give you a scenario uh, where the price where USD JPY, we had it created a resistance here, came back down all the way down, crashed, and then it went back up around 9 a.m. and now it's testing this resistance again. And I noticed that I wait for the price action, what's going to do, what this asset is going to do over here. And when I see an indication that there's a possibility of price to come down, and I post an SR 123.096. You see, guys, you have to remember one thing, that when I post a signal, I post a signal only when this red uh, candle opens, because I like to see a confirmation. I don't just post a signal where um, this green candle hasn't even closed, or I don't like to take such chances. So I always wait for this red candle to open, and I look for some kind of momentum. The price is going down. So when I give you this strike rate and you see this chart in front of you and you say, oh my god, this is on a great resistance point over here, and there's a strong possibility that the price is going down. So if you're not able to catch my SR at 1.09 1.3 which is right just below the line, just on the line over here, if you can't get this price, doesn't matter. Even if you can get at say 5 pips, 123.09090 is okay, because you know that this is a good resistance point, and we are going to see, look at this rally, look at this green candles, how many of them. So like, like we have seen, so always remember that when you see such rallies, or you see a bearish movement, um, remember that the price has to reverse at one point, some point, and we have to uh, calculate that point, and that's what we call as some kind of resistance or a support where the price will reverse. So this was our resistance point, and the price came down. Now instead of waiting for the SR, right, because you may not get this 1.123.096, because important resistance point and the price is going to come down. So even if you can get 5-6 pips even below, you will still ITM. So when I post this, let's say this is around 10:50 a.m. and I say at 10:50 a.m. I say put, and by 11 we are ITMing this big time by a lot of margin. So um, on resistance points like this, you have to remember that you will see at least 7 to 10 minutes uh, of either a crash or a bullish movement. So this is one scenario where you judge whether the SR is uh, whether you have to stick with the SR mentioned, or you can take a chance um, by going few pips up and down. That's okay. Now there are cases, when the markets are very slow. For example, let's see Euro USD. I'm going to look for the late market hours, for example. Um, Over here, say, okay, this is a Friday. So let's go back a little bit, maybe the previous day, where the late night hours, where there's hardly any volatility. So at that point of time, look at the size of these candles. They're so small. This is on a 5 minute, and we barely see some kind of basically moving like 10 pips, or 10 to 15 pips, that's all. So in cases like this, where I say, okay, there is a support or there is a resistance area right here, right, and I say put at uh, let me draw a line over here, right. I say put at, let's say I say 1.13848, right. You know that this is late hours, and you know that the markets are very slow. So at that point of time, you have to stick with the SR, because you may not win. And in this case, we have one red candle, so we won this. But um, in most cases, like in cases like this, look at this. We are winning by few pips, maybe 3, 4, 5 pips. So this is, in cases like this, you have to remember that you have to stick with the SR. Very important. I don't know if you guys noticed that when I post signals, I um, I mentioned sometimes that guys stick with the SR, or even in the comments. Always check the comments, because with me what happens is I type the signal so fast, I don't have to type anything else like a warning and saying, blah blah blah, like giving a whole list of instructions. I can't do that, because by the time I do that, the price is gone and we lose the signal. So always check to see the comments, and because that's how I'm able to communicate with you. Um, and When I say stick with the SR, then you have to stick with the SR. When I say guys, just enter now at this point, that's okay, just enter. You can still enter. So this is one scenario, right? Um, there's another scenario where you want to, where, okay, for example, over here, right? Um, okay, at this point, um, Okay, this is my support line, right? This is my support. I just made this support because of three candles. Now, um, this may not be a good support, but I made a bad judgment, right? I made a bad judgment, and I made this a support line. Let's assume that I made a bad judgment with this support, and the price started coming down, right? And I assumed that the price is going to reverse from this point, right, from 122.884, and I say, I post a signal, call at 122.880 or 884, and the price goes down, which means my support is broken, my support line. Now my support line could be up to here, up to the shadow. So this small range is my support, and I notice that it has broken my support line, right? But then I don't know if you guys can see, but if you see here, there's a green candle again, which means that I'm thinking, okay, even though it has broken my support a little bit by a few pips, it's still coming back, and I'm pretty happy. And then the next candle I see is a red again, and it's going down, and it's trying to push. It's trying to break this support again. So at that point of time, you have to remember that you need to save your trade. You can't afford to. Your OTMs have to be so rare that like for example, close trades where you lose by a few seconds, or sometimes the trade just goes completely wrong where you can't even save a trade. So in cases like that, um, that's okay, but in cases like this where there's a possibility of saving a trade, right? The price came back up, it's going back down again. It's not going back up. See, it's not holding the support. It was a mistake from my part that I gave a signal over here, but over here, I mean, with thinking it holds this support, but it didn't do that. So um, immediately, what you should do, even without waiting for my instructions, because sometimes it's hard for me to say everything in the comments and say, guys, try to save a trade, take a put, and some of you don't even listen because I understand, because there are so many comments, and it's hard to keep track of what exactly I'm conveying to you guys. So when you see a situation like this, and even though your SR is okay, so it's below 884, maybe you take it at maybe 880 or 882. um, it's now pushing it way down. It's going down, it's going really down really fast. So you know that this support is not holding up. In that case, you take a put immediately, and so suppose I give you a signal at say 340, right? I give you a signal at 340 for um, say for a call, right, at 884, and you take the signal, and you take a call at 880 or 882, whatever, below my SR, um, and then the price goes back down. So now it's now almost reached your level where um, it's almost breaking it, and at this point of time you're losing it. You're losing this trade. You still have time. See, you still have time uh, to do something about it, and you could take a put immediately. Now I'm talking about the 4 a.m. expiry. Suppose I give you a signal at 340 and it's expiring at 4. You take a put immediately at your SR at the exact point if possible. Suppose, let's assume your SR is 122.882, and the price touched 882 or 883 or 884, doesn't matter. Even 880, even 1 or 2 pips, and you take a put immediately. Um, so you take a put immediately, the price comes down, right? So you're ITMing one signal and you're OTMing other signal. So basically, at your SR, you've taken two signals, call and put, because it's not holding the support. something's gone wrong with the signal, right? And now look, the last 5 minutes, it comes back up again. It comes back up to 857. So your put at 880 still wins. Your call at 882 or whatever 880 loses, but you minimize your losses and you're iteming one and you're OTMing one, which is okay. You know, um, you guys should know that when you lose a trade, suppose you invest $25, you lose all of it. You get nothing back. But if you ITM one and you OTM the other, you lose $4, right? So you invest 25 and 25, 50, and you get 46.25. I think most brokers give you 80% back, and you lose $3.75, which is not bad. Which is not bad when compared to losing, losing all the $25. So in my case, when I post signals, I stop at either 2 or 3 OTMs, and my success rate, most of you know that it's over 80%, 85%. I think this week it's above 85%. Um, so when I'm giving you say 11 or 12 signals, and you're following my whole session, um, then yeah, you're gonna be in the money. Even these bad trades, some trades like this, you could save them. And if you could save even those 2 or 3 ITMs that I give you, or even one out of those two OTMs, um, I mean, you're going to be in really good profits, you know. So this is one case. Um, so we went over two things, right? The first is about the SR. We said when do we wait for an SR, or when do we um, catch an SR even though it's not, uh, it's a little above or below um, the mentioned SR on a signal. So you can catch this when you know that it's on a very important point, it's making a strong reversal, and the price will definitely stay down for the next 10 minutes. Well, definitely maybe not a right word, but there's a high probability that the price will stay down in the next 5 to 10 minutes at least, right? Um, so this is one case, and the second case we went over is saving a trade, where you minimize your losses by taking taking a trade in the opposite direction, um, and basically minimizing your losses. There's a third scenario which is called fencing. Well, this can also be called fencing, but we won't get confused. Let's call this saving a trade strategy, right? Saving a trade. And there's one more strategy which is called fencing, where also called as double profit strategy, where you are able to make um, you are able to ITM two ITMs. So basically, this is what happens. um, Now again, the price is now testing this resistance. So this green candle and the next green candle opens, and the admin or trader, whoever is posting signal, makes a mistake again, and he says, okay, even without seeing this candle close, see this big 5 minute candle, it's really big. He posts a signal even without uh, noticing this candle going up. He says, okay, put again at 123.096. You know, he says that, and the next 5 minutes, look at it, it's just spiked up. So I've noticed in my case too, few times that people enter below my SR sometimes when they're not supposed to, which means that when you see a candle like this going up with such momentum as it's going up and up and up, um, you shouldn't be entering below or on my SR when you see the price is spiked up. So either you enter way above if possible, or even if you can enter like around at this area, somewhere in the middle. Because if you see a spike up, then you wait. You don't just jump on the signal. right? You just don't jump on taking a trade. You wait for you wait for this candle to close, or you at least wait for the price. You be patient and you watch where this is going, because we also know that there's one more resistance over here, um, around this area. So there's a potential for the price to go up to 123.174. So from 150 to 174, there is also a possibility. But then this candle closes and the next candle opens and it's red, which means that there's an indication it's going down. So even if they mentioned SR is 123.096 over for here, um, and you can still enter above. Um, doesn't matter if my signal loses or wins, but as long as you guys profit, you guys ITM, because there's a resistance over here, and you're taking a put again here, right? Taking a put here, and the and price comes down, right? It's coming down, went all the way down to here, and then it retraced back, and the next candle again did that. And if you entered above my SR, you would still ITM this, because this candle closed at 0.91. So I would still win this signal even at 0.96 by few pips. But my point is that suppose, just imagine that this candle does not close at this point and it closes just above 0.96. You would OTM by by 1 pip or 2 pips. You would still OTM, right? That shouldn't happen, because when you're seeing a spike and the price is crossing my resistance, my first resistance, let's call this as the first, this is the second resistance, and you know that there's a chance that the price will come down from this point, then you would take a put maybe at 140 or 145, or even 123.100 if possible, right? Um, then you would ITM. Now, what fencing means is that there's a possibility that you could double profit. So suppose I give you a long signal saying put above 123.096, and I also say, guys, follow my comments, or I mentioned in the comments there's a possibility of a fence, because I know the price is now the price is coming down. It's coming all the way down here, and I know that uh, there has to be a point where the price will reverse, right? Um, so I would look for a support. How do I find a support? I find a support by looking at the candle. Now look at this candle, this green candle. It has a long shadow and a small body, which means there's a lot of pressure from the bottom, from the bullish. There's a lot of bullish pressure, and there's a possibility that the price will stay up and test this resistance again, 0.96 again. So um, I see this coming already. As soon as this candle closes, the next candle opens. I see a green and it's going back up, and I like the shape of this candle, and I say, guys, there's a fence opportunity. Let's take a call from here. So if I take a call from here for the next, say, 5-10 minutes, or even, okay, let's say I open this trade at 115 and expires at 130. Look, I'm well in the money. Closed at one closed at closed at 0.53, and I would open this, my SR would be 123.000 maybe. Yeah. um, so here it is. So this is a fence, which means that I created a wall between, uh, or a barrier between these two prices, just by looking at the price action, and I'm profiting, both ways, so on a put and on a call. So this is a fence. Now it's very important that you know where to fence and how to fence. You cannot be fencing um, at some random support points and just thinking price will reverse back, because it may not happen. So if you're a newbie and you don't know where to fence, you can ask me. You just mention my name in the comments and say, Afzal, is there a possibility of a fence? And I say, yeah, sure, let us watch, and because when you show interest, I like, I like to be more involved and help you guys out. So um, this is it. So we discussed three things: fencing, um, the SR point, we went through also saving a trade. So these are some strategies that I wanted to discuss with you. There's one more strategy which we do with correlations or anti-correlations. For example, I give you a signal for USD JPY call. Let's take this signal again, and the price is broken my support. When the price is breaking my support, um, which means that this is going down. You know, I know that this is going down. I'm losing this trade. So as soon as I see this happening, I do the opposite thing for Euro USD. So when I say put for Euro for when I do a initially I did a call, which I'm not sure that I'm gonna win. It's breaking my support. So if I cannot catch the price over here for a put, I immediately do the opposite for Euro USD. But you have to be careful here. I do not recommend this for people who are for novice traders because you have to know when the prices correlate and anti-correlate. There are times when they don't correlate at all. Most of the times, though, it's a 70%. Euro USD and USD JPY are anti-correlations. So, um, so which means that if this goes up, the other thing comes down, and if this goes up, so in order to make some profits, minimize your losses, you would do the opposite for Euro USD, and you would win that. Um, and if you lose this one trade, you still have two winning trades, one for a put and the other for a call for Euro USD. But that's only when you know that for that obvious that the market is going the wrong direction from your initial judgment. So I hope you guys learned something today. Um, next time you ask me that is it good for is this SR, can we still enter and things like that. I want you to do your judgment. I want you to look at the chart, and I want you to um, see what I'm exactly doing and where I'm coming from. If I'm giving you a bad signal, if I think that I'm giving you a signal which is good according to my analysis, and you don't feel comfortable taking it, then you just don't take it. It's fine. We have signals coming up all day, and don't chase for trades. Uh, Save your money. That's more important. Don't blow up your accounts, and your OTMs have to be very, very, very few. Do not go more than 2 or 3 OTMs. Just stop for the day. Um, Come back tomorrow. Come back the next day, and just clear your mind up and start all over again. Um, Friday has been really good for me. I was over 90% ITM success rate. I think I gave about 14 signals and ITM 11. Oh no, I think 13 signals, ITM 11, and 1 or 2. I think just one OTM. Yeah, just one OTM. So great day. Friday was a really good day. Um, let's keep those good days coming. I show you that there are better days. Uh, so good luck, guys. Do some analysis along with me. Don't just jump in a trade. Um, and also, you could give me recommendations. If you guys feel like there's a good trade here, and you can mention my name or tag me or whatever and say, Absal, what do you think of this trade? Because sometimes it's not possible for me to see all of them, even though I try all day. This is all I do. I check it. I check different assets, but sometimes I miss them, and sometimes maybe you have better analysis than I do. So then you can um, ask me and we can trade it together, because this is what it is, right? We have to help out each other and um, help the group continue teaming. Yeah. So thank you guys. I'm going to end this video right now. I'll see you next time. You have a good weekend. Thank you.